Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Have you ever walked into, say, a stadium or a big corporate lobby, maybe even a really busy store, and just been stopped in your tracks by a huge, seamless video display?
Oh yeah, those massive walls where the image just flows perfectly across all the screens.
Exactly. It looks almost effortless, like magic. But behind that, there's some seriously sophisticated tech making it all happen.
A whole symphony of it, really.
Right. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on the conductor, the maestro of that symphony. The WolfPack 8K 30Hz 5x4 video wall controller.
Sounds impressive already.
Doesn't it? Our mission today is to really dive deep into this powerful device. We want to unpack what it is, its features, sure, but maybe more importantly, why it's so essential for creating those amazing large-scale visuals you see everywhere.
The unsung hero behind the pixels.
Perfectly put. We're basing this on a really detailed product page from HDTV Supply, Inc. They've got loads of info, features, specs, applications.
And they've been around a while, right? Like 24 years in the AV space.
That's the one. So, okay, let's get into it. The WolfPack 8K 30Hz 5x4 video wall controller. Sounds almost sci-fi, but what is this thing really doing? What's its core job?
Well, what's really fascinating here is that you're looking at the central intelligence, the brain, basically, that orchestrates all this complex visual information across a whole grid of screens.
Okay, so not just making one big picture.
Not just that, no. It's about managing potentially ultra-high-res content, we're talking 8K input here, and distributing it with, well, absolute precision.
Across, like, standard LCD monitors or those giant LED panels?
Exactly, both LCD and LED. It's the core processor that makes sure every single part of that wall is perfectly synced up, displaying exactly what it needs to, which is, absolutely crucial for dynamic stuff.
Right, where clarity and impact are everything. So it's the hub, taking in different video feeds and then spreading them out intelligently across the displays.
Precisely. It turns those many screens into one cohesive visual story, or sometimes multiple stories side by side.
Let's dig into that name, though. 8K 30Hz. That sounds significant. What does that actually mean in practice for what you see?
No, it's a huge deal. It's a real game changer. It means the controller can physically accept an incoming video signal with full 8K resolution that's 7680 by 410 320 pixels. Incredible detail.
Wow, that's a lot of pixels.
It really is. 4 times 4K, 16 times 1080p. But it's not just about more pixels, it's what that detail enables. Think about maybe medical imaging on a huge wall?
Yeah, where every tiny detail matters.
Exactly. Or an architect showing off a complex design needing every texture perfect. That's where 8K shines.
Okay, makes sense.
And importantly, while it can handle 8K, it's still flexible. It'll happily work with your 4K sources, your 1080p sources, so it kind of future-proofs your setup.
So you're ready when 8K content becomes more common, but it works perfectly fine today.
Precisely. It's built as that high-performance engine for both LCD and LED walls, handling all that complicated image processing.
That makes total sense. It's managing incredibly high-fidelity visuals.
So, okay, connectivity. That's always key, right? How does this brain actually connect to everything? What can you plug in, and what does it feed out to the screens?
Yeah, good question. And this is where the WolfPack really steps up as a kind of connectivity hub. It's designed for a lot of different modern video sources.
Okay.
So on the input side, you've got 3 HDMI 2.0 inputs. These are pretty standard now, very robust. They handle a whole range of resolutions, 4K at 60 Hz, even some 8K formats like 7680 by 2160 at 30 Hz.
And it manages EDI. I hear that term a lot.
Yes. Crucial point. It has intelligent EDI management. Basically, that's how the controller and the source device, like your laptop or media player, talk to each other to agree on the best signal.
So it prevents those annoying black screens or weird stretched pictures.
Exactly that. It smooths out that digital handshake.
Yeah.
Then beyond HDMI, you also get 2 DisplayPort 1.4 inputs.
Which are often preferred for really high bandwidth stuff. Right. Especially in professional or PC-centric setups, these DP inputs can handle even higher resolutions like that full 7680 by 4320 8K at 30 Hz, or even 7680 by 2160 at a smoother 60 Hz.
Okay, impressive.
And again, EDI to management is there too. But maybe the key thing for inputs is the seamless switching. You can switch between any of those 5 inputs, the HDMIs, the display ports instantly.
No flicker, no delay.
Pretty much seamless. which is vital if you're doing a live presentation or switching sources in a control room.
Definitely. So input-wise, it's super flexible. You can hook up almost anything. But then how does it get that signal out? How does it build the wall?
Right, the output side.
Yeah.
So it provides 4 DVI-I outputs, and each of those also has a DVI loop out.
DVI. That feels a bit older, no?
Well, a DVI is still very common in professional AV for its reliability and direct digital signal, especially for standard HD resolutions like 1080p or 1920 by 1200, which these support perfectly at 60 Hz, and they allow for custom pixel-to-pixel modes too for perfect alignment.
Okay, and the loop out, what's that for?
Think of the loop out as a pass-through. It lets you send the exact same signal that's going out of that port onto the next display, or maybe even another controller in a larger system. It makes daisy-chaining screens much simpler.
Got it. So it simplifies wiring for bigger setups.
Yeah, but what's really important for those huge, maybe custom-shaped LED walls are the 4 dedicated slots for LED sending cards.
Okay, so direct integration with the LED system itself.
Exactly. These slots let you plug in the specific cards needed by the LED panels for optimal control and signal delivery. It's a much cleaner integration.
Makes sense. And what about sound? We've got these amazing visuals.
Good point. Can't forget audio. It includes a standard 3.5 millimeter audio output for de-embedding.
De-embedding.
Yeah, it basically extracts the audio signal that's coming in alongside the video on the HDMI or DisplayPort and sends it out as a separate analog audio signal, so you can easily route that sound to your amplifier or speaker system.
Nice. So the sound stays synced with the picture without extra hassle. Okay, so we have the inputs, the outputs, but beyond just stretching one image, what can it do with the visuals? Can it get creative? What are those aha moments for the person managing the content?
Right. This is where it gets really interesting and where the dynamic power comes in. It's way more than just stretching an image. You can have up to 4 different layouts stored.
Layouts, like different ways to arrange the content.
Exactly. Predefined or custom.
Yeah.
So imagine flick a switch and you go from one giant image to maybe 4 different video feeds showing side by side.
Okay, that's useful.
Then you've got PIP and pop picture-in-picture and picture-on-picture.
Ah, like we see on TV sometimes.
Sort of, yeah. You can have your main video source filling most of the wall, but then maybe a smaller window overlaid with a different source. Think a live news ticker or maybe a close-up camera feed.
Gotcha. Very handy for adding context.
Definitely. And it mentions cross-screen support too, which usually allows for more unconventional layouts, maybe across unusually shaped displays or breaking the grid structure.
So getting really creative with the canvas.
Precisely. And for that absolute perfection, it offers pixel-to-pixel resolution settings.
You mentioned that briefly with DVI. Why is that so important?
It's absolutely critical for making multiple screens look like one seamless image. It ensures every single pixel lines up perfectly across the bezels or gaps between screens. It avoids any weird stretching or distortion. I've seen walls where things are just slightly off, and it totally breaks the illusion.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's jarring.
This feature basically eliminates that headache during setup.
Okay, and I saw practical things too, like video freeze and a one-button black screen.
Yeah, those are invaluable in live situations. Video freeze just pauses the current image instantly. Maybe you need to hold on a specific frame during a presentation. And the black contents button is your panic button, essentially. Instantly clears the entire wall to black. Useful for transitions or if something unexpected happens and you just need to clear the screen quickly.
Control's key. And test patterns for setup.
Yep, built-in test patterns, essential tools for installers and technicians to calibrate colors, check alignment, make sure everything's working perfectly before you go live.
Makes sense. Saves time and hassle.
Absolutely. But maybe one of the coolest features for dynamic use is saving and loading scenes. Up to 10 of them.
Scenes, so like preset configurations.
Exactly. You can set up a whole complex arrangement, which inputs are active, what layout you're using, PIP, split screen, whatever, maybe even some effects, and save it as a scene. Then later you just recall scene 1 or scene 5 and boom.
Wow, okay, so for a venue that hosts different events or store-changing promotions?
Perfect for that. Instantly switch between totally different looks with just one command. It's like having presets for your entire video wall. Super powerful.
That sounds incredibly useful for managing a busy space.
Okay, so tons of power, tons of flexibility. But how do you actually control all this? Is it super complicated, needing a dedicated tech? Or is it user-friendly?
That's a great question, and they seem to have covered the bases pretty well here. They offer multiple ways to control it, catering to different needs.
Okay, like what?
Well, for direct hands-on control. You've got push buttons right on the front panel.
Simple enough.
And right next to them, there's a decent-sized 4-inch LCD display. This gives you immediate feedback, shows you what input is selected, what scene is loaded, settings, EDD status. You can see what's going on at a glance.
Okay, so physical control with feedback. Good start. What about remote?
For remote control, there's a WEBUI, so a graphical user interface you access through a web browser on your computer or tablet as long as you're on the same network.
That's pretty standard these days. Very flexible.
Yep. And they also mentioned dedicated APP and software options, which probably offer a more tailored interface for controlling everything. So physical, web browser, dedicated app covers most users, right?
Pretty much. But then for the really high-end integrations, like in a broadcast facility or a complex command center, it supports industry-standard RS-232 and UDP commands. This means you can integrate it seamlessly with big third-party control systems like Crestron or AMX.
Ah, okay. So it can play nice with the big automation systems.
Exactly. It's designed to be part of a larger ecosystem if needed. And there's also a USB-A port specifically labeled for upgrades.
Future-proofing again, smart.
Yeah, so they can push out firmware updates or new features down the line.
Okay, so control seems really well thought out.
Yeah.
Let's talk applications. Where does this kind of controller really shine?
Well, think anywhere you need impactful, flexible, large-scale visuals, conference halls definitely, for dynamic presentations, data visualization, way beyond just static slides.
Right. Make those meetings more engaging.
Totally. Sports bars are another obvious one. Managing feeds from multiple games across a bank of screens. This makes that seamless.
Oh yeah, crucial for game day.
And, retail displays, command control centers, museums, lobbies. Anywhere you need to grab attention or convey complex information visually.
And it's TAA compliant. What does that mean again?
Ah, yes, TA compliance. That basically means it meets the requirements of the Trade Agreements Act, making it eligible for U.S. government procurement. It relates to where the product is manufactured or substantially transformed.
Okay, so important for government or certain institutional buyers.
Correct. It signals adherence to specific sourcing standards.
Got it. And physically, is it built tough for professional use?
It seems so. It's a standard 19-inch rack-mountable unit, about 3.5 inches high, weighs around 6.6 pounds, so pretty standard for pro AV gear.
And power. Does it draw a lot?
Surprisingly little, actually. Maximum power consumption is listed at 55 watts, which is quite efficient for what it does.
That's pretty good. And operating conditions.
Yeah.
Can it handle different environments?
Yeah, the specs here are quite impressive. It's rated to operate from 32 degrees Fahrenheit up to over 130 Fahrenheit.
Wow, that's a wide range.
It is. And the humidity range is even wider for storage. It really speaks to its robustness. It's designed to be reliable, whether it's in a climate-controlled server room or maybe a slightly more challenging public space.
That reliability is key. And I saw HDTV Supply backs it with a solid warranty, too.
Yep, a 3-year warranty is mentioned. And coming from a company with, as you said, 24 years in the business, that provides a good degree of confidence.
Definitely speaks to reliability and support.
Indeed. It suggests it's engineered not just for top performance, but also for longevity and ease of use in demanding settings.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all really mean for you, our listener? We've taken this deep dive into the WolfPack 8K 5x4 controller, and it's clear it's much more than just hardware.
Absolutely. It's really the engine, the sophisticated brain behind so much modern visual communication. It makes these incredibly complex multi-screen displays look seamless, vibrant, and, well, effortless.
Effortless, yeah, that's the magic.
And it highlights how this specialized tech enables really immersive experiences, whether it's a 2x4 8K wall like this one supports, or maybe connecting it with other WolfPack units. They mentioned 5x8 or 5x6 models for even bigger, grander displays.
Giggling up.
Exactly. It's all about bringing visual ideas to life with incredible precision and control, making the complex look simple.
So for you listening, here's a final thought to chew on. Think about the possibilities this opens up for dynamic storytelling, for engagement. How could technology like this 8K controller transform, say, public information displays or interactive art?
Or even how we experience huge live events, concerts, sports. What does the next 5 or 10 years look like when this kind of power becomes even more accessible?
What new visual worlds does this unlock, and what amazing application will you imagine for it?